And Title 42 was never meant to be some sort of permanent solution. It was something Trump put into place because he didn't want illegal aliens coming in and spreading COVID. So this was all to prevent communicable diseases from coming into the United States. So that's going out there too. Now, for more on this, let's bring in Texas Congressman Pat Fallon. Congressman, welcome to the count. So Joe Biden, he admits at the border. Sorry, we have like a little bit of a time delay here, so let's just get right to it. President Biden, he admits that the border has been a mess for years. Take a listen.
Well, we've had chaos at the border for a number of years. We have to fully fund the border security effort. We have to fully fund. Look, the purpose of what we're doing now is making legal immigration more streamlined, illegal immigration shorter term and move in a direction that people know that there's a legal way to get here and a not a legal way. That's what's underway now.
At this point, Congressman, I'm not believing a word that comes out of the president's mouth anymore. We're seeing hundreds of thousands, stadium full of people coming into this country. What is your reaction to seeing what's going on there and the fact that Democrats are still unwilling to place the blame exactly where it belongs, and that's on President Biden?
Lydia, thanks for having me on. It infuriates me. And you know how you know Joe Biden and Alejandro Mayorkas are lying? Their lips are moving. Because let's just look at some numbers. We had never had a month ever in our history where we had 200,000 illegal border crossings. We've had 14 months in a row of that under Joe Biden.
I think we're just having a little bit of a technical difficulty right there. And as you are seeing right there, you're seeing migrants surging across the border. It basically looks like a third world camp on both sides of the border. Congressman, we got you back, and you were in the middle of saying that when Biden's lying, when his lips are moving. So maybe who knows? Maybe they heard you.
Yeah, it's Big Brother watching us, Lydia. What I was saying was we had never had a month. We'd never had a month in our history where we had over 200,000 illegal border crossers. And we've had 14 months in a row under Joe Biden. And the only difference in the last 4 months is they're counting them differently because they're issuing 100,000 paroles, automatic, if you're from certain countries. So what we've seen over in the last 2.5 years is 7 million illegal border crossings, 160 countries represented by people that are crossing the border illegally, over 100 people that were on the terrorist watch list, and a record number of fentanyl deaths, 80,000 last year in America. This is asymmetrical warfare being waged by the communist Chinese. And Joe Biden wants to look the other way. And by the way, that clip you showed, Lydia, was him just gobbledygook. That was word vomit. It made no sense.
I don't know who's worse, him or Kamala Harris. I want you to take a listen to Ohio Congressman Jim Jordan. He says Biden has only made things worse since taking office. I think we can all agree on that. Take a listen.
Since Joe Biden took office, 5 million illegal border crossers encountered, 2 million illegal aliens released into the country, another 2 million, over 370,000 unaccompanied alien children have been encountered on the border, and the Biden administration has lost track of 85,000 kids, 85,000 of that number, and nearly 200 on the terrorist watch list have been encountered on our border, and at midnight tonight it gets worse.
Also, what's really frightening is these numbers that we're throwing out there. We have no idea how many people actually snuck in. These people are not being vetted. They're not being given court dates. You even have leaders here in New York, Democrat leaders, crying foul, but they're refusing to name names, and that is President Biden, for allowing this illegal invasion of mostly young men to take place. Congressman, what can Americans do to stop this insanity?
Stop voting for Democrats, quite frankly, and vote for people that will secure your country. We're allowing Mexico and other countries to export their poverty into ours. And we want legal migration. Legal migration makes us stronger. Illegal immigration doesn't. And the left always has new terms for them, Lydia. They used to be illegal aliens, then illegal immigrants, then they were undocumented workers, and now they're asylum seekers. Well, the fact of the matter is 99% of these folks crossing the border illegally are they're economic migrants. They're looking for a better life, and I can empathize. We all can with that, but there's an orderly way to do it. We cannot allow millions of people to come to the country when we don't know who they are. There's been 20,000 or so Russian nationals that have come through, 20,000 Chinese nationals. If only 1% of them are sleeper agents or are intent to do us harm, that's going to cause chaos in this country. The liberals refuse to acknowledge that we deserve a secure border, because if you're not safe, then you're not free.
30 seconds left, Congressman. I know I'm going to be asking you a very big question is, why is President Biden allowing this? Why not just remain in Mexico, remain in your country of origin policy? And if you want to apply for asylum, do it from where you live. And if you're granted asylum, then come on in.
Because his far left base, Lydia, demands that we have an open border. And now they call it something else, but that's in fact what it is. When you have the chaos that we have seen, and quite frankly, also the people that live on the border are leaving the Democratic Party in droves because they're tired of the chaos, the corruption, the crime, and the cartels.
Absolutely. And now we're seeing that the cartels are in control. We're seeing this now from a national security crisis, now turning into a humanitarian crisis, and all again because of President Biden and the other Democrats' reckless policies. Congressman Pat Fallon, thank you so much for your time this evening.